Recording it is. All right, so welcome to Chapter 7, Mathematics of Buying. We're going to talk about invoices and trade discounts. We will complete an invoice, understand common shipping terms, identify invoice abbreviations, calculate trade discounts, and understand what they are giving. Differentiate between single and series discounts. That's not where I wanted to go. Calculate each series discount separately, use complements to calculate series discounts, and use a table to find the net cost equivalent of series discounts. I have done the homework up to, I believe, 7.3, and then when I hit like 7.4, this stuff got to get to me because you have to realize that I did all chapters 1 through 7.3 in like 3 days or something like that. So by the time I got to 7.4, my brain was about dead. So I will be doing the homework along with you. So don't feel like I am getting off scot-free. I will also be just as cranky as you guys are. All right. Or possibly maybe you might have an easier time. Okay, invoice is a document issued by a seller to a buyer. I'm sure you have all received an invoice. Okay. Businesses get a lot of invoices. They have to give a lot of invoices. We do not give invoices at Sylvan unless a parent were to ask for one. I feel like most of the time you really only get those if you're kind of interested for tax purposes. And then, of course, as consumers, we get invoices because we need to know what to pay. Wow. Thanks. Glad you wrote that out so nicely. Let's see if we can figure out what that's saying. Sale invoices for the seller, but a purchase invoice for the buyer. Shows quantity ordered, number shipped, unit price, and extension total. The column labeled amount number of an item shipped multiplied by the unit price. Wow, this is just terrible today. Invoice total is sum of the extension totals. An example of JB Sherr's sales invoice, but a purchase invoice at Bed Bath & Beyond on the next slide. Okay, so let's go look at the examples. I'll give you guys a second to take a look at that. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't make it any bigger, I don't believe, than what it currently is. You can see here that they have the quantity ordered, and then next to it is the quantity shipped. So what's interesting in the second column is that whatever they ordered here, this acrylic butter dish, they ordered 1, they've received 0. Okay, so they obviously do not have to pay for that amount. You can see at the end where it says amount that row is zeroed out. Why? Because even though they ordered it, they did not receive it, so they will not be charged for it. Okay. Obviously, this is something that you would get as the company. The customer, no, this is for the customer, I guess. But it's from one company to another company. Does that make sense? So it's from this JB Sherr company and it's going to Bed Bath & Beyond. All right. Okay. Questions on how to read an invoice. You will have to practice that. It will be on the homework. I believe it will also be on the at least the quiz or the exam. Ugh. Okay. Trade and cash discounts are never applied to shipping and insurance charges. So if you're told that you're going to get a trade or, a portion off because you traded something in or a cash discount, don't ever think that it'll apply to your shipping or your insurance charges. Again, most of this, guys, you need to put yourself in the mindset of a company. We can get shipping, like we can get free shipping. For instance, I don't know how many of you are like me and have to have your Amazon Prime, especially during a global pandemic, even though they're kind of crap right now. You get free shipping supposedly through that. Most of what you can get on there is free shipping, and then basically I split the cost of the membership with my family so that I don't have to worry about cost. Okay. For this reason, shipping and insurance charges are often not included in the invoice total. All right. The purchaser must add them to the invoice total to find the total amount due. So obviously that's going to be a question on your homework, right? You're probably going to have to answer something in the realm of that. Okay. In the JB Sure Company invoice, the freight shipping charges of $38.90 are included in the invoice total space. All right. I guess we can go back and look at that if you want. Yep, freight, $38.90. So that's why there was a non-tax total. And then they added the $38.90 and they get the $573.33. If they would have added this up, you probably would get the $539.43. Okay. I think I told you guys this before. It's just a lot of numbers, so make sure you know what numbers mean what and how to use them. Take a look up here at the terms. This 1% for 15 days and net 30. That comes into play again in section 7.4. It has something to do with like you get a 1% discount if you pay it off in 15 days, and then you have to pay the total if it takes you 30 days to pay it. Okay. All right. Understand common shipping terms. Free on board, FOB, shipping point. The buyer pays for the shipping cost. Ownership of goods passes to the purchaser prior to the shipment. I don't think you guys should want that. I mean, even if you were opening a restaurant, I don't really think you should want to be responsible for the item before it enters your store. But I don't know, maybe that's just how some companies work and you would have to deal with that. Free on board destination. The seller pays the shipping charge and retains ownership until the goods reach the destination. That's the one you want to have if you're opening up some kind of business. Okay. So again, if you know these terms, might help you out down the road. Not really sure what all of you are hoping to do. All right. Okay. Cash on delivery. Payment of goods is made at the time of the delivery. Always go for that one. Free alongside ship. Goods are delivered to the dock with all freight charges to that point paid by the seller. This is just abbreviations. I don't even know why. You don't worry about writing these down. If you really need abbreviations, email me and I will send you a chart. Okay. I'll just send you something that I find off of Google, and or you guys could also just do a Google search. Yeah, don't worry about that. So this chapter kind of reminds me of a particular show that they have on A&E. Does anyone happen to know the name of it? Okay. You're not allowed to laugh at me, although you probably will, and it's perfectly fine. But you just watch whenever you pull it up on Amazon Prime and you watch it yourselves. There's an amazing show called Shipping Wars. It is fantastic. If you have not seen it, you should watch it. And this chapter will maybe become a little bit more clear. So in Shipping Wars, people put up these, in fact, you know what? I might just have you guys watch it. Not right this second, but potentially if we have time on Thursday, I will just put it up. But basically the gist of it is that they put up bids for things that need shipped. And instead of going through like, you know, a regular shipping company where they'd have to pay crazy out the money, the person shipping it has the person on the other end who is buying it pay for the shipment. Make sense? So like that would be that first one that we talked about. The blah 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 blah. Maybe next time I'll just learn how to use the pages. This one. Free on board shipping point. Buyer pays for shipping cost. Ownership of goods passes to the purchaser prior to the shipment. So the person who puts up the shipment is the person buying it from someone else. The person who's selling it already received their money, and so they're kind of hands off. And then the person who gets it at the end can decide if they are going to pay the full amount or not. So they'll go around and like they'll check if there's any dings, or like if they got it there late, they'll take money off of that. It's a really fun show. I enjoyed a lot. I think I've watched most of them. All right. So calculate trade discount and understand why they are given. Trade discounts given to businesses or individuals who buy an item for resale or produce an item that will then be sold. Seller usually gives the price of an item as its list price, the suggested retail price. Seller gives a trade discount that is subtracted from the list price. So here's the thing. When stores buy in bulk, they pay a lot up front, but then whenever they sell the items individually, they end up making a profit. It kind of works out for you because obviously you don't need to buy in bulk some of the things that stores buy in bulk. But I mean, if you do, I guess you would be better off just buying it in bulk. But you always have to keep in mind that, you know, the reason why the unit price is so much cheaper when you're buying in bulk is because, you know, what are you really going to do with 50 butter dishes? You know. All right. Calculate trade discounts and understand why they are given. The result is the net cost or net price, which is the amount paid by the buyer. Find the net cost of the following formula with the following formula. Net cost equals list price minus trade discount. All right, I'll go back in case you guys are taking notes. Excuse me. Anyone have any questions up to this point? Okay. All right, example 1. The list price of a commercial grade cuisine art food processor is $89.20. With a trade discount of 25% given to Bed Bath & Beyond due to the volume of the purchase. Find the net cost. So what do you guys think we have to do?
Subtract 189.20 from 25%.
Very close. So the first thing I want you guys to do is find 25% of the 189.20. So that's going to be step 1. And then, yes, Anna, we're going to make that subtraction. So first thing you have to do, so step 1, We need to find what 25% is of 189.20. So find that out first. And what do we get there? We can have a disembodied voice answer too.
I have to grab my calculator. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I got $47.30.
That's what I got.
Good. Okay. So now that we have the 25%, which again, we got 25% because we're told that's what their discount is. Step 2 is when we're going to find the net cost. So net cost, NC, whatever you want to abbreviate it as, is equal to the 189.20 minus your 47.30. So Anna, when you told us to do that before, is this how you thought of doing it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. So did anybody get that?
$141.9.
Good. And then let's fingers crossed that they didn't do some weird voodoo science on us. All right. Are we all in agreement that that at least makes sense to us, right? Okay. So if by some chance they voodoo science us, this is how I want you to do it. Okay. Because this makes sense to me. All right. Let's see what happens. Oh, hey. Oh, hey, look at that. It wasn't voodoo. We were right. Yay. Let's all snap about it. There you go. Aren't you guys so glad I don't do poetry? I am terrible with rhythm. I'd be like, oh, good job. And they'd be like, why are you here? You suck. Like, yeah, I do. It's okay. That's why I'm never in band. So I was in band one time in my life, guys. I was in 4th grade. My mom wanted me to like carry on the legacy. I ended up leaving her flute, which I'm sure was like older than I was, in the middle of the yard. And she was like, okay, you're done. I was like, great, because I was giving myself a migraine every day, not understanding how to blow properly. Terrible. Why would you teach 4th graders that? It's insane. All right. So differentiate between single and series discounts. Not going to lie, guys. If you have trouble with this, we are going to have to go through it together because, well, obviously I did not take the time to look at the PowerPoints when I did the problems. I just did it brute force and it was not good. Okay. In the previous example, a single discount of 25% was offered. Sometimes 2 or more discounts are combined into a series or chain discount. Please note that even though they're using the English corrected here, it's series discount or chain discount. It's not series or chain or discount. Okay, so either those 2 words together or these 2 words together.
It was awful, by the way.
Oh yeah, right.
That I didn't, because obviously I'm moving ahead, and I didn't do the PowerPoint, go through the PowerPoint, and I just went at it. And oh my goodness, when I tell you I was so frustrated, I wanted to pull my hair out. I literally had to step away from the laptop or I was gonna throw it because I was like so frustrated. And then it was like, oh man, I can't even explain how frustrating it was.
Quite literally, the week before when I got handed this class and I had to create everything from scratch, I had done literally, like I said, chapters 1 through 7.3 in like less than a week, and I got to this and I haven't touched it since. I was like, this
Yeah,
is disgusting.
I was like really adamant on, getting 100 on all the homeworks. And then that one, I was just like, I just can't do this. I have an 83 in on that chapter. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm not. And then I'm thinking in my head, like, maybe I'll go back because it's not due for a while still. And I'm like, no, I'm just done. I'm done with that chapter. Like, I'm done because I was just so over it.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you still have time. So maybe after we go over the PowerPoint, you'll be able to go back to it.
Maybe.
Maybe. 83 isn't bad.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to take this and call it quits for today.
All right. I was there too. I agree with you. I was very frustrated. So let's see if this helps us at all. So a series discount simply refers to more than one discount in a series. All right. So it looks like we're going to have an example. For example, the series discount 20/10 means to apply a 20% discount. So start with the amount after the first discount, then apply another discount of 10%. So I know you guys do better with examples. So basically what they're saying here is that if we had, let's just go easy on ourselves, right? So let's say we have $400 and the first discount is 20%. Okay, so the first thing we have to figure out is what is 20% of 400.
$80.
80, very good. So then if we take 400 and subtract 80, we should get 320. And then I believe this is sometimes where my brain would break. Even though it makes sense when we're breaking it down using simple numbers, sometimes the Pearson just gives you everything all at once and you have no idea what the heck you're doing. Now I think we would then take 10% of 320. So, and get 32, which means that your total then would be 288. Okay. That's just a simple example, but I believe that's what we're supposed to do. Okay. And I also am ridiculous in trying to get the hundreds in this class. Clearly, because I think if anyone should, it would probably be me, since obviously if you guys would have any questions, I would need to answer it. So I will be going back to pulling my hair out once we finish chapter 7. Okay, so I think that's how this is going to work. It would be great if they would give us an example, but I don't know if they're going to. So this is saying calculate each series discount separately. Okay, so we did that part, right? 3 methods can be used to calculate a series discount and net cost. 1, calculating discounts separately. 2, complements. 3, use a table. Okay, I'm actually going to go back so you guys can write that down. I think I am a fan of number 1 and maybe number 3. I don't really know how I would use number 2 unless like the discounts were a weird price. But I do believe they're going to give us a better example, so that's going to be nice.
I had a question.
Sure.
So for number 2, what do they mean by compliments?
I believe what they're talking about here is if we have 80%, the complement to 80% would be 20%.
Oh, okay.
because if you add them up, they give you 100. But we will have to see in the example if they show us a complement. But that's my guess. Okay, so this is saying Bed Bath & Beyond is offered a series discount of 20 and then 10 on a cooking with something stainless steel cookware set with a list price of 150. Find the net cost after the series discount. So it says apply the first discount, so 20%. The discount is equals 20% of the list price. Okay. So that would be $30. Okay. Sorry, I'll go back. And we know that they took 0.20 times 150 to get the 30. Okay. If we end up taking 2 weeks on chapter 7, I'm really okay with that. So we'll see how far we get. But if we need extra sessions, that's fine. I might even allow, if you guys want to work on some of the problems together, we can maybe do that too. I just don't know if I would put it up on video. All right. Example 2 continued. Amount after first deduction would be 150 minus 30, which is 120. Great, we did it right. Now apply the second discount to the 120. So that would be $12. Yep. So 108. So yes, we did it correctly. How great does that make us feel? So great. Maybe I can actually finish the homework.
It
Right?
doesn't make me feel that great.
It doesn't make you feel that great?
No.
Well,
I mean, like, I understand it more now, but to go back and do it, I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that. I took the quiz already and I sent it to you today, but now, and I'm still thinking about going back, but I'm like, okay, I don't want gray hair.
yeah, well, I'll be honest, I don't remember it being this easy. Like this to me feels way easier.
Oh yeah, no, it was nothing like this. It was definitely more complex than this right here. And there's like multiple steps. And I swore it took me like a half hour for every question.
Right. I'm there with you. Like I said, I answer this stuff the same as you guys do. So I just did it kind of before you. All right. So here's what they're talking about with complements. I'm so happy that I did not lead you astray. Again, the complement of a discount, subtract the decimal form of the discount from 1, or you could also take 100% minus the percentage. Again, like, so what you basically need to write down is that a complement, the discount and the complement will add to 100 or 1, depending upon if you're going to use percents or decimals. But what I don't understand is how they're going to use it. Okay, I guess they're going to tell us that. Don't worry about writing all those complement examples down because you will be able to find them yourself. All right, so number 1 says find the complement of each discount in a series. Next, it says find the net cost equivalent by multiplying the complements from step 1. The net cost after the discount is the list price times the net cost equivalent. Okay, so I wouldn't worry about these steps until we see an example here. And then if you need the steps, I'll go back. So this is saying Kitchen Crafters is offered a series discount of 20 and 10 on a George Foreman grilling machine with a list price of $139.99. Find the net cost after the series discount. So here they wrote down the discounts, they found the decimal equivalents, and then they found the complements. So then it says net cost equivalent is equal to 0.8 times 0.9, which is 0.72, which was step 2. So then they took 139.99 times 0.72, and they got 179. Okay. So my assumption would be if we figured out 20% of 139.99 times 0.20, and then we subtract that, and then we find 10%. Yes, it is the same thing. So if you don't believe it, you can do it the first method and you end up getting the same thing. Anna, is this the slide you still need, or is it the next one?
The next one.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys find 20%, so 0.2 times 139.99, and then you take the subtraction, and then you find 10%, and you take that subtraction, you end up getting the 179 cents. So it does work both ways. If you like this method better, you may of course use this method. I'm fine with you using any of the methods on your handwritten test. I don't believe that it will have you, I don't believe it has you doing like specific ones. As long as you get the answer, you should be fine basically. But if I'm incorrect on that, then obviously go with the directions on the test. To find the accurate discount, subtract the net cost after the discount from the original price. Discount equal original price minus cost after discount. Okay. So if you wanted to know the cost of the discount or the amount of the discount, then you can just subtract the two. The other way to do it would be if you did it the first way, you would have to take the first subtraction and the second subtraction and add them together. All right. Questions on this? I feel like the complement was maybe a little bit easier, but again, those problems on Pearson were not easy. So I will take a second look at them. I will force myself to do them before Thursday, I guess. But I feel like they were chapter 7.4, so I don't even know how this is going to help me. I might not be able to work on them yet. Okay. Use a table to find the net cost, equivalent of series discounts. So if this is not on your Canvas, let me know. I think I'm just going to take a quick screenshot of it anyway. Yeah, okay. All right, use the previous table to find the net cost equivalents of the following series discounts. So 10, 10, 20, 10, 25, 25, 5, and 35, 20, 15. Whoa, 10, 10, 10, 10. Wouldn't that be 0.81? And then what was the next one? 20, 10, 20, 10, 0.72. 25, 25, 5. So 25, 25, 5. Not reading that big number out to you. And then 35, 20, 15. So don't know how we're supposed to do that because it doesn't even give it to us. So let's see what they do. Oh, good. We got the first one right. Go us. We did it. Hey, we got the second one right. And we got the third one right. Now I'd like to see their voodoo magic on the last one. Oh, so apparently it doesn't matter the order. Like you can also start up here. 35, 20, 15. Okay, so I think that was cheap. That was very cheap of them. They did not let us know that we could start at the top. All right. So 0.442 for that one. Questions on how to use that table? I will, if you guys need it, I will make sure you have it. If you have it already on Canvas, then that's where you'll get it from. All right. Okay. That is it for 7.1. Do you guys have any questions on 7.1? I am going to start 7.2. We have plenty of time for me to do that. Stop that. Okay. And I'm sure we can finish then on Thursday if we're already on 7.2. All right. Series discounts and single discount equivalents. Express a series discount as an equivalent single discount and find the list price given the series discount and the net cost. So this is just picking up basically where we left off. Express a series discount as an equivalent single discount. Series or chain discounts often expressed as a single discount rate. Single discount equivalent, subtract the net cost from the equivalent form 1, write as a percent. All right, so, whoa. So 1 minus the net cost equivalent. So I think it's always better if you do this with an example. So find the single discount equivalent if Spectral Heating offers a 2010 discount on heating systems. Series discount is 2010. They found their complements, and then once they found their complement, they found their equivalent, and then they subtracted. So the net cost equivalent, so that the single discount equivalent of a 2010 series discount is 28%. So that should always be the case then. That should be how it works out every single time. Questions on how they found that? Okay, these are the steps that you would want to follow for your homework and your quiz. And I will double check. We should have an exam coming up. I will double check though. All right. Also, since we finished chapter 6, you should have your chapter 6 mini quiz that you should turn in. If you didn't turn it in when you turned in your exam. Okay, so make sure I will send out a list. I will email you individually if you owe anything. Okay. All right. Find the list price given the series discount and the net cost. Sometimes the net cost after trade discounts is given along the series discount and the list price must be found. So here's your example. Oh, look, base part and rate came back. Aren't we so happy to see it? Find the list price of Kohler kitchen sink that has a net cost of $243.20 after trade discounts of 2020. Use the net cost equivalent. Okay, so here it tells you that you have to use the net cost equivalent. So why are they using 0.8 there?
Because it's the complement of 20%.
Thank you, Tim. Brilliant. Yes, so both were 20s, so they're going to use the same complement. So 0.8 times 0.8 gives us 0.64. We have to realize that we're using a rate times base equals part. So then we're going to rearrange that and get base equals part over rate. So they take their part, divide it by their rate, and they get back to the original, which was 380.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Say it was like 20 slash 10.
Mm-hmm.
How would you know which one's the rate and which one's the base?
According to this, you're going to use the first
Golden
one as the
Parker.
rate, and the second one would be the base. But I think the major issue is that you don't know the base. Like you don't know the true cost of the base yet. So what this is helping you figure out is that you have a part and you have a rate. I don't think these two go together. These are two separate, I believe. Like this. This is how you're finding rate. And then they're just showing you that equation. Does that make sense? Their spacing's basically off.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo, thank goodness not talking out of my butt. All right. Ah, yes, we were correct. They just had terrible spacing. Okay, any other questions? So you want to use your series discount to find your rate, and then you want to take the part, which is what they gave you, and divide it by the rate. Now, they could ask you to find it the opposite way. They could give you the base and you have to find the rate, and then you have to use the base and the rate to find the part. Okay, so don't get stuck in that mindset that they're only going to give you the part. All right. Here's another example. Find the list price of Bunn 10-cup Generation Home Brewer having a series discount of 10, 30, 20, and a net cost of $60.48. Use the complement to find the percent paid. Okay, so 0.9, 0.7, and 0.8, they give you 0.504. That gives you the rate. You know the part is the 6048, so together you have $120 as the original base price. All right, questions on that example? Good. You guys are doing good with this, better than I was. Okay. Oh, and that's it. Okay. Make sure you have this example written down, or at least one of them. And we can go ahead and go to 7.3. Who knows? Maybe I'll get them all done. Oh, is it a challenge? It might be a challenge. We'll see. I think I can do it. And then that would mean Thursday, we can just get together and do some problems. That sounds like way fun. And then it also lets us potentially not have to get screwed over by the snow if we can't meet. So yeah, solid. Let's get it done. Okay. 7.3 is cash, not crash, cash discounts and ordinary dating methods. Wow. If it would have been the other, it would have been a really terrible reality TV show. Okay. Calculate the net cost after discounts. Use the ordinary dating method and determine whether cash discounts are earned. Use post dating when calculating cash discounts. Get ready to have your minds totally confused. That's the object they didn't put down there for number 5. Calculate net cost after discounts. Cash discounts offered to encourage prompt payment by customers. I think I showed you guys that on that one invoice, right? The 1% for 15 days and then the net for 30. So basically, pay me quickly and receive a discount. Businesses often borrow money for day-to-day operations. Immediate cash payments decrease need for borrowed money. Okay, so how many of you pay your own car insurance? It's okay if no one does. I won't be that upset.
I don't right now.
Okay, so here's this great, amazing thing. When you pay your car insurance or when you get onto your own car insurance, what you have to ask them is, if I pay this all up front, what is the discount I'm receiving? Okay, so if they tell you you don't get one, then you tell them you're they're full of crap and you go to the next business. Okay, so we typically in the past we have done semi-annually, so every 6 months. But sometimes when you get a really great insurance company, like we currently go through Erie, Erie is charging us. This is so crazy. So when we paid for Allstate, we were paying nearly double what we're paying for Erie, and we paid it 2 times a year. So what we're paying for Erie now is for the whole 12 months, and it was less than one payment at Allstate. Okay. So always, if you can, pay it early and get your discounts. Okay, so net cost is going to now be equal to list price minus trade discount minus cash discount. Okay. So again, we will go through an example. So here on the other one, it was up top, but here you'll see the 2010. I believe that stands for the N there, N30 there is days. So terms 2% discount of 36.35 if paid by 10/16. So where's their due date here? Why is that? So the invoice is 10/6. Oh, so their due date would be 30 days after 10/6. So that's why they were saying about that whole ordinary dating thing. You literally have to count out when some of this is due. So if you don't currently have a planner, get a planner or get one on the internet because you will be counting out a lot of days. All right. Ordinary dating method expressed as an invoice. Read as 210 net 30. 2% discount applies if paid within 10 days. Full invoice must be paid within 30 days. If not, a penalty may apply. Okay. So these are all very interesting. It definitely makes owning a business or the potential of owning a business absolutely crazy. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, to find the due date of an invoice, use the number of days given in the chart. So we have 30 days for months that obviously have 30 days, and then April, June, September, and November. 31 for January, March, May, July, August, October, and December. And of course, February has their little exception. You can sing the song, you can do the, fingers versus knuckles, whatever you want to do, but obviously remember which one of these months has 30 versus 31, and I'm going to assume most of you will remember February. Okay. Okay. Look, they also had a rhyme method. All right, so that's cool. It tells you the leap years. You don't have to write this down. Just if you need help. They also brought up the knuckle method. I feel so smart right now. Okay. I would just suggest using calendar, but if these methods help you, then go for it. I never really understood the knuckle method, to be honest. But there it was, clearly written for you. Determine whether cash discounts are earned. Find the due date by counting from the next day after the date of the invoice. Add the given number of days to the starting date. When discount date or net payment date falls within the next month. Subtract the invoice date from the number of days in the month. Subtract the result from the total number of days given to pay. That result is due in the next month. So you guys can write this down if you want, but I'm pretty sure we're going to go through an example. Okay. All right, here's our example. A Hershey invoice is dated January 2nd and offers terms 210 net 30. Find the last date on which the 2% discount may be taken. So, I mean, that to me would be the 12th, but maybe I'm wrong there. Oh, hey, cool. Nice. Beginning the invoice date January 2nd, the last date for taking the discount is January 12th, 2 plus 10. Find the net payment date. So 30 days, January has 31. We're getting it on the 2nd. So what would that be? First, maybe? Haha! Sweet. So February 1st, you take 31 minus 2, get 29 remaining in January plus 1 day in February. So February 1st. So awesome. So glad I did that all in my head and got it right. Yay, you'll get there too. You probably did. You probably beat me to it. Because I'm sure you guys are better with the calendar than I am. Okay. Questions on this style of problem? Because you will have to do it in the homework, okay?
So you're
All
just
right.
trying to find how many days are left to get the discount.
That was both. So it wanted to know about how many, what day would you no longer qualify for the discount? So that was the January 12th, like January 13th, you would not qualify anymore. And then the last one was when is the total due period?
Okay.
And that was the February 1st. Okay, so this one is saying an invoice received by Bed Bath & Beyond for $840 is dated July 1st and offers the terms of 210 and 30. I think that means the net is due in 30. If the invoice is paid on July 8th, find the shipping and interest charges, which were FOB shipping point, are $35.60. Find the total amount due. So I think that means that whatever you find, so if you take the 2%, right? Because they paid it in 7 days, so they get 2% off of the 840. So 840 times 0.02 will be 1680. 840 minus 1680. $823.20. Then I think we have to add the 35.60. I think. We'll see. Oh, yes. Boom. Love it when I'm right. Okay. So, yes, the 2% applies. You subtract it out, and then you have to add in the shipping and insurance. Now, you wouldn't have to add the shipping and insurance depending upon what they tell you about it. But for that case, you owed it, so you had to include it. Any questions on that? This number, by the way, is the same as this one, if you're writing it out.
You weren't joking. This makes no sense.
Right. So the way it's working is they got their bill on July 1st. They paid their bill on July 8th. we were told that they get a 2 and 10. So that means that they get 2% off if they pay within the first 10 days. But that's not what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing 2% and then 10%, right? So we have to kind of ignore that right now. So because they paid within the 10 days, so 10 days or less, they now get the 2% off. Okay.
All right.
So then they figured out what 2% of 840 was and they subtracted it. And then because they are responsible for the shipping and insurance, they have to take their discounted amount and then add the 3560. Now, typically you would have added that before and then you could take the percentage off, but that's not the case because they want all of that. Okay, that's why we're adding it separately. It does not get any kind of discount or trade amount. All right. Okay, invoices may be post-dated or dated in the future. This gives the purchaser more time to take the cash discount. May fit accounting practices of seller. Seller uses date that is after actual invoice date and labels it as of blank. So take a look at this. I'm assuming this, oh, that kind of really reminded me of a hospital bill. I'm not going to lie. So here it says the date is 7/25/18 and it's saying as of August 1st. Okay. So then the due date isn't until September 10th. Okay. So in here we have 8% is taken off if they pay within 10 days. But I believe that's 10 days of the 8/1. So really, if they paid it early, which I mean, I don't know who needs that much in freaking polos and crap. What's this even to? Bakersfield clothing. Well, I guess they're trying to re-up their supply. So there you go. So if they're able to sell, or if they have the cash funds to cover that, then it would make sense for them to cover that because then they're going to get 8% off. All right. Okay. An invoice of a shipment of Henkel's cutlery from Germany is dated October 21st as of November 1st with terms of 3/15. So that means 3% off for if they pay within 15 days and they owe the net if it's after 15 days. Find the last date on which the cash discount may be taken. So I think that would be November 16th. Boom! Who's finally getting this with the freaking PowerPoint? Haha! Nice. Sorry, I have to celebrate a little bit. That's cool. That's great. Who would have thought these PowerPoints would be useful? Not me. I hate teaching by PowerPoint, guys. I hope you know this. Like, honestly, if we were in class, I would not be going through these things. But I think it's the most efficient way for us to learn on the computer. Okay. Net paid date. How many days are in November? 31, right? So then wouldn't that be the 31st? Nope. Crap. All right. It got me. Freaking calendar.
There's dirty.
Yeah, thank you. See, that's why you guys will be better at that than me. I'd have to look it up in my calendar, which I do have. I have my planner, so I'll make sure that I get it out whenever I'm doing this homework later. So December 1st then. All right. Okay. An invoice from Cellular Products is dated May 18th and offers terms 4% in 10 days, 3% within 25 days, 1% within 40, and net within 60. So that's because most cell companies, they give like an extreme leniency, but that's also because they kind of own your butt for like at least a year, if not two, unless you're smart and you have like pay by the month, which is what I do. All right. So it's 4% if you pay by May 28th, 3% if you pay by June 12th, 1% if you pay by June 27th, and then if you owe the whole thing, it would be July 17th. Okay. Again, just have a calendar. I think that's going to be the easiest thing for most people.
Would it give you an example that's like, say you pay it in like 61 days? Like what happens then?
You just add one more day, July
But, like,
18th.
There's no like penalty or anything. It's just if you pay it late, you pay the same, like no discount price.
Oh, they would tell you. So they would tell you in here, like, if you go past 60 days, incur a late fee of blah. So the problem will tell you that. Oh, hey, that's the end of that one. Cool. We're totally going to do the next one too. Sit back and buckle your seats because we're going to do a fast one. Yeah, we can do it. We got this. All right. Cash discounts, other dating methods. All right, there's your objectives. We're not going to bother reading them this time. Okay. This is the hard stuff. End of month and Proximo dating, abbreviated EOM or Prox. Number of days counted from the end of the month in which the invoice is dated. So 3% for the first 10 days. I think that means within the last 10 days of the month. And then 3%, 10 prox both mean 3% may be taken as cash discount if paid by the 10th of the month that follows the sale. So remember, I told you guys this crap is confusing. This is where the confusion comes in. Why
Yep.
they couldn't have just left it alone and let us do what we were just doing in 7.3. I feel like it was confusing enough. Now we have to see some of this stuff and it's just like, why?
So
Alright.
is it like 10-day EOM means 10 days like left in the month, or does it mean the 10th of the month?
We're going to look at an example because I can't really answer you because my reading of it is obviously the same as yours. So this is saying if invoice date is the 26th or later, add an extra month. So here's an example. The 310 EOM dated March 25th, then the last date for the discount is April 10th. Okay. All right. I think I get it. So typically we would read that and go 3% as long as you pay within 10 days of the invoice date, okay? But what they care about is if it's already after the 10th of the month, basically. So this is saying the 26th or later. Then we're going to go to the next 10th, like the next month that is the 10th of the month. So here it says if an invoice from Oster is dated June 10th with the terms of 3% within 20 days of the end of the month, find final date on which the cash discount may be taken. So the discount date is July 20th, 20 days after the end of June. Okay? Or not okay? You guys let me know. I think it's easier to understand when you're trying to work through them. If you guys need me to work through these problems with you on Thursday, that is perfectly fine. I have no problems doing that with you. This section is rough. So you can do it on your own and then bring questions to me for Thursday, okay? No net payment date or net payment date. When no net payment due date is given, common business practice allows 20 days after the last discount date. So the net pay date is August 9th, which is 20 days after July 20th. Okay. So that's probably something you want to keep in mind, that if they don't give you a due date, it's typical practice to use 20 days after the last discount date. Although I will caution you guys, credit card companies never give you a grace period, ever. Okay, when you call and complain to them, they will give you like a one time, which is really once a year, kind of scrubbing of that late fee. But then depending upon what they do, they will then have you guys have to still pay that total minimum amount. But then they will obviously hit you the next time. So always have your credit card payments paid on time. Okay. Here's example 2. Find the amount due on an invoice of $782 for some Black & Decker Belgian waffle makers dated August 3rd. If terms are 110 prox and the invoice is paid on September 4th. So I'm not sure if that's hitting the window or not. I guess it is. The last date for the discount is September 10th, 10 days after the end of August. Okay, so I guess when you guys see this 1/10 prox, no matter what the date of the invoice, you're going to the 10th of the next month. Okay. September 4th is within the discount period, so the discount is earned. So then they just went ahead and showed you how to find the discount, even though that was from the other section. All right, questions on that? We will go over we will go over some of the homework problems, guaranteed. I can almost feel that you guys will need that. All right, receipt of goods, abbreviated ROG, offers cash discount determined from date on which goods are received, often used when shipping time is long. Invoice may arrive immediately, but goods may take weeks to arrive. So if you order, or if your company orders something from overseas, you will get the invoice immediately because you kind of need it for tracking purposes, but then you might not get the material until weeks later, especially right now. Buyer is given time to inspect the merchandise. That's always true. Example 3 is saying that Best Buy received an invoice dated December 12th with terms of 210 ROG. The goods were received on January 2nd. Find the final date on which the cash discount may be taken. So that should be what, the 12th? Look at that. There we go. Got it again. All right. The net payment date would be 20 days after the last discount date, so February 1st. Okay. All right, I'm gonna kind of fly through these because we're almost out of time, and I feel like we don't really need to come back to this except for with problems. So this one says find the amount due on FedEx invoice of $285 with terms of $310 upon receiving the goods. The invoice is dated June 8th. So then the goods are received June 18th and the invoice is paid June 30th. So the last date for the 3% is June 28th, 10 days after the 18th. The invoice is paid on the 30th, 2 days after the last discount date. So they do not earn a discount. So the entire amount of the invoice must be paid, which is the $285. Okay. So this stuff is no joke. If they don't pay it within the payment window, they have to pay the full amount. Extra dating, buyer has additional time to take advantage of cash discount. Supplier during slow season might offer it to generate more sales or gain competitive advantage. What's a good example of that? So have you guys ever gone into like Best Buy or Lowe's or Home Depot and they're like, if you open the credit card and you purchase an item up to like, say, I don't know, $1,000 or $2,000, something crazy like that, and then they say that you have 18 months interest free? This falls under that. You have extra time. You have 18 months, not really to make your first payment, but you have 18 months to pay off the total without getting any of the interest added on. Okay. All right. An invoice for several drones is dated November 23rd with terms of 210 and 50 extra. Find the final date on which the cash discount may be taken. So the discount date is January 22nd. 7 days remaining in October plus 31 in December equals 38 plus 22 more days are needed in January to total 60. All right, and then the last date is February 11th. Again, they didn't give us a date, so you have to just assume it's 20 days after the last discount date. I'm just kind of going through this for the recording. You guys can pause it like as you need it, but I don't think we need to go over every single item here. Okay, any quick last minute questions for me? I'm going to stop the recording.